Get him out the way.
You
Let's do it.
know what the fuck it is. Know what my motherfucking vibe is right now. We on just another motherfucking podcast with my bro Hek. We in the building. We outside more like inside, but it really don't even matter right now. Because you know what the fuck it is. Because it's when 2K is on, yeah. Hi. That's right. You know what it is. It's a motherfucking Thursday night, and I'm missing a football game, but I don't give a fuck because I went my bro. Let's go and start the show, baby. Yeah.
So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Just Another Podcast. Tonight, I have a very special guest. Long time, not even friend, like family, bro. I mean, I lived 3 floors under you? Two floors under you in Staten Island in the 90s. That's right, during the Wu era. We was in the Wu era for real. Like
you couldn't tell us shit.
Nothing at all.
We was tired of being shitted on by the rest of the city. Now y'all want to know about Staten Island? Nah, we in Jersey. Nah, you don't know about us.
But this has been my brother from another mother. A very talented guy. I've known him for years. Bashan Farrow. What's your handle?
There's so many. Currently, right now, it's Uncle B.
Uncle B.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Reflex Radio. Word on the street.
Uncle B. Okay.
Shout out to the Hangover.
Hangover. Okay. Shout out to the Hangover.
When I'm on stage, you know what I mean? They call me Braille.
Braille.
You know?
Yes. That's how I know you're
That's the hype man name. That's the hype man's name. And I mean, when I'm on my comedian, it's just Bashan. It's just because I'm me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So whatever it is you're more comfortable calling me, Bashan's not a name most get used to. So Uncle B. I've grown into that. You know what I mean? I ain't no baby. I tell by the hairs on the chinny chin chin. I ain't no baby. Shit me. I can smoke freely on the show, right? We just
Go ahead, man. All right, listen, it is what it is. Nah, man, but welcome to the show.
I thank you. I thank you. Love and respect.
I thank you for your time, man. You know, I definitely.
Listen, man, I thank you for the opportunity. Let's make it do what it do.
Nah, man, definitely. So, my first question of the night: who is Bashan? Who is Uncle B? Who is Braille? Who is? You know, I mean, I know you, but who? You know, to the people.
I mean, if I had to introduce myself to a person, I'm an overall, all-around entertainer. I try my best to be. Behind the scenes, I'm really just an average man trying to do his best, take care of his family. Married 18 years, been together with the same woman 28. Been with her longer than I've been single in my life.
Very true.
So I've known her more than I known anything else. It's my baby.
That's right.
You know what I mean? My son, my junior.
Since high school,
freshman year.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you guys making out in the hallway. It was like, wow.
Our faces was locked in like magnets. I wouldn't even get in the cooch yet.
That was right before computer repair class. I remember. That was right outside.
That was right before every class that we passed by. Shit me.
Well, that was the times I saw you. He was like, yo, Bashan is.
One time my uncle came into school. I was trying to tell him, oh, chill, your uncle. I'm here. I'm going here. I'm going here. Y'all niggas said your boss.
I remember that. I remember.
Huh? This is what you come to school for?
Yo,
get your ass in that classroom.
We skated. Bro. We were cracking up.
Bro, I had to live that one for a little minute.
Oh yeah. But you know.
But yeah, I'm just the average Joe, bro. You know, trying to enjoy life the best way possible, and willing to bring in and was willing to enjoy life with me. You know what I mean? Invites open. My life is a block party. Come on in and have fun, bro. Just don't shoot up the place.
That's who you've always been. You know, I think that was one of the things that, you know, when I thought about like asking you to be on the show, and I was just thinking about like all the memories and all the times, and it was just like, yo, like you always was super positive, like, and it was, you know, like for every joke you had a comeback, like it was, and that was the era, but you especially, like it was almost like you just knew you were in the window, you were in the mirror practicing like Eminem before.
No. Mom spaghetti.
Yeah,
right?
spaghetti.
The big ass head ain't ready. But but pause.
Your comebacks were just like, dude, like you used to slay people, and they used to try to come for you for your clothes, and you would just hit them right back.
You know why? Because it was something I always had to live. But it was, in the same token, it was like that in my household growing up. Like when I first when I grew up in West Brighton, 806. Shout out to everybody in West Brighton. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. We was out there, had all my cousins in the crib. Two at the foot, two at the head, Ghostface story type shit.
Yeah.
We used to snap on each other religiously, and this is from day one. Go outside, you get snapped on for something, because I was a kid that went outside with the jean pants that was jeans in the winter, shorts in the summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's because you just about to go out of it and say, nah, you're gonna get one more use out, and they try to create shorts out of it. And you go outside looking like a little Incredible Hulk. And you get snapped on.
Yeah.
And it gets to the point where, of course, you get into your fights and everything, but sometimes it is funny for what it is, but shit. I just got to a point like, you know what? I don't even dress me. Like, you know what? I hate my clothes too, bro. Like, and this is something I'm stuck in. And before I know it, it's like in junior high, I started snapping on my own clothes. Like, and my jokes was funnier than theirs. Like, and it went from there for me snapping on myself that I got comfortable enough and started snapping on everybody else. You know what I mean? And it just kind of just went from there. Like, I heard all the jokes. I've heard them all.
He said, I don't even dress myself. I guess. Oh my God.
Let me joke on these motherfuckers that dressed me. Like, I live with my grandmother. Like, what y'all want from me, bro? Like,
when I came to New Brighton, which is right on Richmond Terrace, shout out 476 Richmond Terrace. Lord. Shout out 456 Richmond Terrace. Yes, shout out 61 Richmond Jersey Street. Shout out 81, 131, 151. The Pal,
everybody
KL,
on York,
every York Avenue, Westerville, all that. That was the block. You know what I'm saying? All that. York Avenue, for real. All that.
We were down the block. That was what we called down the block.
Down the block. There
was a difference. There was a difference. There's down the block niggas and there's up the block niggas.
But I didn't know you lived in West Brighton first. So you want to speak on that experience? Or,
that's
what led
what,
you to Brighton, or, you know.
That was my first my first coming into existence. My first day is going outside. My day one. Shout out to the twins, Colin Ewan. My cousins, like those are my first, my day one brodies out there. Freddie, my bro, Tone, bro. All my peoples out there. They know, if you know, you know. Poppy, all of them. Angel, all my family out there. Nikki, AJ, Tanisha. Rest in peace, Grandma Eve. I love you. You know what I mean?
Rest in peace.
What you call it? I was born out there. First days out there. 4G 806. You know what I mean? Running wild in the city, like running behind my cousin. So I might have been my mother's firstborn, but I wasn't the firstborn in the crib. I had two older cousins at the time.
Gotcha.
So running behind them, they low key kind of had me the bully. Surprisingly, as so, I was the bully in West Brighton because I was one of the biggest kids out there. So they had me fighting everybody. I'm like, I don't even want to like fight though. Like, can we play Skelsies or something? Like, why he said that to you? He didn't say shit to me. Like, not that I was scared, but like, I just want to go have fun, bro. Like, why you always gotta have me fighting somebody? Then from there, like, that's when my mom finally got her own place. We moved out to Arlington. And I was one of the, this is I was probably one of the first tenants that was out there. First, it was like a closed off community. Then, you know, we started letting other people, I guess, more subsidized housing.
Right.
So I was one of the first people over there.
And let's keep it a buck. More people of color.
Fact.
Staten Island is like that.
Those were my,
like
that matter of fact, that was my first place. That was the place I had my first white friends.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Elmi. Shout out to Benjamin. Shout out to Frankie. Like, you already know his bro's name was
because the segregation's weird. It's weird and it's real. It's real out there.
Elmi was my bro. On God. Elmi, that was my whole broski. And Benjamin, because for some reason ain't nobody like Benjamin, bro. They used to come up with the crazy story. Benjamin got AIDS in his hair. Who the fuck has AIDS in their hair, bro? You kid, you dumb, bro. Like,
wow.
But I still fucked with him. His mom was such a sweetheart. Like, it was almost like you go into his crib. It was almost like walking into a sitcom. Like, you know, he talked back to his mother. Shit she wasn't allowed to do. They would have shut the door when you had kids over. Yeah. They wanted to feed you. Like, you ain't never liked the food, but they wanted to feed you.
You go home, they didn't even ask you if you ate. But at their house, you hungry? Sure.
My mother was one of those, don't you eat at nobody's house.
Oh, yeah?
Bring your ass home to eat, don't you eat at nobody's house. She was definitely one of those.
Wow. So moving on. So your mom, and I know you speak about your mom, but I never met your mom. And when I met you, you were living with your grandmother. And I don't know if that's a touchy subject or not, but you know, I never asked you about it because we all had our situations. And so you figure, listen, that's sensitive. And you know, we never, you know.
Well, in those Arlington days, I was a handful. Definitely phone call home from school every week, fighting nonstop, cutting up in school. Always had to be the main center of attention. Not always had to be the main center of attention. Wrong choice of words. In my mind at that time, I just wanted to have fun. So I did what at the time would seem like fun. And I always followed that decision of fun. So that always led me into some type of trouble. Bit of a handful. So from there, after 4th grade, I guess it might have been a plan for her and my pops. Her and my pops wasn't together for me to go stay with him. Currently, he was incarcerated at the time. Always kind of been like low key here and there. Pop up every now and once so often. Always cold though, but always out every once so often, but end up going right back. So the plan was for when he came out, I'd be the reason for him to chill, get his stuff together, blah, blah, blah. So that's when I was going into 5th grade. I moved in over to New Brighton. So that was like 89 going into 90. So I probably got there about a year or two, maybe before you. When I moved over to my grandmother, my uncle was still there, helped my grandmother out with the bills and everything. So I kind of moved into that situation there and kind of started surviving from there.
Your grandmother, I didn't mess with your grandmother because she never smiled. I mean, I would walk in the house and I'd be like, hey, Mom, how you doing? Hello. Look for Bashsan, he in the room. I'd be like, okay. and then it came to find out that your grandmother didn't like a lot of people in the house.
You know what it was? My grandmother on the 6th floor was a constant out the window watcher. On top of that, she knew she had an ear to the main artery of all the information that pretty much definitely starts in New Brighton, but it circles around Stapleton, West Brighton, and that main person being Miss Gloria.
Oh, yeah. I
was
remember,
her best friend.
And Miss Gloria
was her best friend, neighbor.
Miss Gloria told everything.
And knows everything and everybody's business already before you knew it. She knew it already. We call her Miss Advance.
Wow, I remember Miss Gloria.
So she already knew who you was before you came in the crib, bro.
Yeah.
So right now, you ain't one of the dumb ones. You can go ahead. Back in the day in the Bright, like when I moved there, it was my grandmother, my uncle, and my grandfather Phil. You know what I mean? He really wasn't even my grandfather. He was actually my grandmother's long-term boyfriend. but long enough for me to know
That was your
that's all I
grandfather.
ever known.
That's all we
That's
called
my
him.
grandfather, and I loved him as such. Rest in peace on Grandpa Phil.
That's right.
One of the funniest dudes on the block, bro. I swear. Funniest
Oh
dude.
my
And bro,
God.
come on. And like, I wish I could explain to the people who he was. Like, if you knew, like, come on, what you expect, bro? Like, he was the funny old dude in the block. Everybody has one.
He used to snap
Everybody
on my
has
uncle.
one.
And my uncle was like world black belt Hall of Fame. And he'd be like, Phil, leave me the fuck alone.
And Phil sit there joking and snap on beat, but you know, he outside getting drunk and high, but you know what I mean? Like, but and he will talk to and joke on anybody. He don't care the age. It
100%.
didn't matter.
So you ended up in New Brighton with your grandmother.
Right.
You started off, you were born in West Brighton. You lived in Arlington for a little while.
Right.
And then you moved to New Brighton. Share your experience growing up in New Brighton for people that don't know, that have never heard of New Brighton. Because if you've never been to Staten Island, then you don't know what that actually is or what that entails.
See, like, all right, as a kid, my grandmother and my father always been in New Brighton. So always would go there, spend the nights from time to time, be out there, go to my homies parks. I remember back in the day, this is before you moved out there, they used to have like little boxing tournaments, and like it wouldn't be no ring, it'd just be a respected square where people pull out the gloves, no face mask, and people place their bets, and they would literally respectfully box.
Where in the back?
No, like by the red houses.
Oh, okay.
And this would be like right after the big games, the big basketball games.
Yeah.
That'll start over there, which is so funny because you remember after all them games, what happened, bro?
It's a shootout.
Shootout after the fight broke out. After the fight broke out, then the shooting starts. You know what I mean? That was after every big game in the big park. But back then it was like, all right, they actually came out the boxing gloves. They used to box out there. So I used to go out there as a kid. I remember little vague shits of things like that happening. So when I moved out there, I just remember the fun. You know what I mean? Never really paid attention to the seriousness. I remembered the fun. So when I moved out there, and mind you, like I was a whole, I wouldn't say terror. I was basically wilding out there. Like, you know what I mean? Like from West Brighton to there. And then when I moved out to the news, like I felt a little different. You know what I mean? I definitely felt a little, I didn't understand the transition part from my mother to over here now. So I kind of felt as if I was booted out for my bad behavior. So when I got there, it was like, I never want to be that way ever again. Ever again. So I moved out here, I became a little bit more docile. And that was the wrong way to be in New Brighton. I've never pulled up to any of a hood and seen so many people slap boxing.
Yeah.
That was a daily routine, bro. Slap boxing, bro. When I came out to New Brighton, God damn, rest in peace to David. It was all hands all day, bro. All hands all day. Not even all hands, jokes and hands.
Yeah.
Jokes and hands. They go hand in hand, bro. You either gotta be wild funny, or you got to be wild funny, and hands got to back that up as well. Even that, your hands, you even got to be funny. If your hands is that nice, people kind of, all right. I might not flex him tonight.
Hands and jokes.
Hands and jokes, bro.
Nah,
hands and jokes. Yeah, if you're close enough to par to keep niggas from joking up on you, bro, your hands better be ready.
100%.
Just to stop niggas from joking on you. Sometimes. No, bro.
Yeah, bro. That was your experience, your early experience of New Brighton. Now,
right.
Let's talk about like the teenage years, right? Because we went to junior high school together. Right. And we went, you know, there was some semi-famous personalities we went to high school with. The Rugged Child, Shaheem, we went to high school with him. There was somebody else that kind of made it too. Like 2 or 3 dudes that were rapping that made it, that we went to junior high school with.
Shout out to Megatron. He had made it to Hot 97.
Megatron. He was in my class, bro. That he was, bro. And that was crazy. Like he was in my junior high school class, and he was like the
most laid back, coolest dude. Like you,
bro. Yeah, like he was.
If this was a movie about kids in school, he was the cool kid that everybody liked.
He was the athlete.
Mad smart. He did everything right.
Yeah,
Look,
for real.
he play a little basketball. He wasn't the best, but he can do enough. You know what I mean? All the girls liked him. You know what I mean? He dressed the part.
Corey.
And if he needed to be funny, he could be funny on the spot. On the spot. So there was nothing you could say to bro, but bro would be so humble and cool about it though. Like,
and I don't even mean to bring his name up, but just in proof, his name was Corey McGriff.
Facts.
And for those that don't know, he was the nephew of baseball player Fred McGriff. So
that I did not know.
No, yeah. So I remember. So this is when Fred McGriff, who played for San Diego Padres, was a hell of a player. Then he went to Atlanta, and I was watching the All-Star game because my grandfather loved baseball. We watching the All-Star game. I got made to watch it, but it was
right.
And I'm like, Fred McGriff, like. So the next day I go to school, and we're in homeroom, and I go, yo, Corey, let me ask you a question. You got a relative named Fred McGriff? And he just smiled at me. And when he smiled, it was the same. They look alike. Like you can't, because even like
it's bloodline. You see the bloodline.
Like his older brother they all look alike. So when he smiled, I said, "Oh shit! Like how y'all related?" He goes, "Nah, that's my uncle." I'm like, "Yo, that's crazy." I said, "Yo, bro, your uncle's famous. Like he's the big." And he was nice. Like Fred McGriff is an all-star. So, just some background on Megatron, but I growing up in we went to junior high school, and I know those were some trying times for you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or even going into high school a little bit.
Yeah, what you call it? So like after, getting all the fights out the way and just getting to know everybody, you know what I mean? First, I'm a little bit reluctant to fight, and after a while, saying, fuck it, like, I'm is who I'm is, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna let these hands go in. After a while, they start respecting me and won a couple of slap boxing events. After that, nobody wanted, they realized what the kid can do. Like, we kind of kept it at jokes.
Yeah, they're interested in formation too. Yeah.
Yeah, use the long arms, bro. Like, all right, that's the game we're gonna play. Pat. You want to turn into a real fight? All right, but still, I never really was the type to like fight anyway. I just enjoyed life and having fun. But yeah, so as you're going into high school, freshman year, my grandmother passes away. You know, I mean, that was a big hurt, real big hurt in my life. Like she was the last one I felt like at that time cared for me. But funny how life is. Because while in high school, like getting to more of the love life, kind of crazy how this shit twists is. When I seen my wife Natasha at that time walk to the school, I didn't know her, but for some reason I always noticed her walking past. And I don't know if anybody ever seen me notice her, but like when she walked through, like I really get stuck watching her walk down the hallway. And nobody ever mentioned, you like her, you bad, you feeding for her. Nobody ever mentioned it enough. It's like, so nobody even seen me see her. So
that came out the blue for us.
Right. So starting to our second semester, we get a class together. Finally get introduced because she's a friend of my friend Kim.
That's who I thought you liked, Kim.
I did. Funny thing it is, I did like him. I liked him a lot, but I didn't even know them two were friends. But I was like, me and Kim had more of a friendship relationship than ever going to be
she
any type of romantic. She friends on me bad, but she funny as hell. So fuck it. friend
it's okay.
Wasn't in the cards.
It happened a lot.
So when I found out that they were friends, I used the opportunity to meet them. You know what I mean? Joking around for about a week. Then after that, my grandma's passed. I'm out of school for about a week or two. Come back, she really notices me. Like she really missed me. Like I'm like, nobody, I never got that type of response from anybody like that or female. You know what I mean? For me being gone for a minute. So like I really paid this some attention. And the funny thing is I remember even coming to you before I decided I wanted to date. Like, what you think of her right there? You think she all right? Like I don't even know why I asked that, because I was gonna ask her out anyway.
I was just like, she cool. Like because I still didn't think you were, I don't know, like I always thought that you and Kim were like You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really foresee it. I honestly thought like, you know, I was like, oh, this dude's on some scumbag shit. He's gonna use her to get together. It's like, I don't know. Like in real honesty, I didn't know. It was just like you asked it. I was just like, no, she pretty, she cute. Like, you know.
Nah, I really felt her and
she
really
was
got
cool.
to know her.
Like she was mad, cool, down to earth. You know, like
Facts. And her story was similar to mine, to where my pops was orphaned on drugs, in and out of jail. Same situation with her mom's. I was staying with my grandmother. She was staying with her grandmother at the time. You know what I mean? So the same situation to an extent. So we had a lot in common, low key. You know what I mean? I was more of the outgoing person. She was more of the shy person. She'll say hi, but other than that, she just keeping it pushing to do what she got to do and get out of everybody's way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just her mentality at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I always kind of felt like as my grandmother passed, she got pushed right in my direction for me to take. Not to take, but to have in my life as somebody the female I needed in my life to care for me the way that she would.
Okay.
And it's been like that ever since. It's just a weird love story that doesn't seem real, but this is actually real. I'm lucky and blessed when it comes to her. I appreciate
it's beautiful, man. Honestly speaking, because you've been together forever.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's, you know, and that's not even like that's black love. Like that's love. Like putting a color on it or, you know, whatever. Like that's just
Fact.
love. And, you know,
Fact.
that's, you know, you guys have been together forever, man.
Forever.
I like you said longer than you know anything, man. Like it I agree, because
when we got together,
you guys
I
are
was
synonymous
14.
at this point. Like,
When we got together, I was 14. We've been together for 28 years.
yeah,
I've known
freshman year.
life more
Sheesh.
being with her than I do being by myself.
Wow. In high school, like you went all 4 years.
Right.
You made it through, and yeah, you know, like you definitely had some fun. I remember you beating that kid up, bro, and it's not, you know, I you know, we got to be careful how we say these things now because of cancel culture. But to your defense, you never picked a fight with anybody. Like every time I ever saw you even have hands with anybody, you were defending yourself. Like you were always. That's why when you brought up you were the bully, I'm like, that's not the Bashsan I met. Like you played defense, and it was just like you got what you deserved. You got what you deserved.
Type shit.
You got what you deserved. So when I watched you beat that kid up, and I was just like, why he's fighting with Bashsan? Like, of all people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what were you thinking?
It was the last person. It was the last person trying to be a bully, I guess.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We all were looking at him stupid. Like even his own peoples were like, "That was dumb." Like, I mean, they had to hold him down, but it, you know, in the end, it was just like, you were cool with everybody. Like there wasn't, so you know, like Staten Island definitely was cliquey, especially in the Wu era.
Facts.
Especially when Wu-Tang came about.
Facts.
Park Hill became the power town or the power, whatever you call it. And then Stapleton adjacent to that because Ghostface.
Right.
Park Hill, Stapleton, you know, West Brighton even to some extent. But everybody knew you. Everybody had love for you. You know what I'm saying?
Because somehow, some way, I had ties to each other. I had my cousin, Shaheen, my different Shaheen, not the rugged child, that lived out in Stapleton. So I spent plenty of nights out there with him and his friends while I was living with my grandmother. So I got to know his friends out there from a young age. So when we went to McKee, like McKee was like a melting pot of every piece of hood. Like not for funny, it should have been more wars going on in that school.
Yeah, because it was only like really one or two. Not even. And they weren't even wars. Like
there were just a couple of quick fights. After that, niggas got cool and realized, all right, it ain't not for you. Let's receive trouble on the street. Even then, you got more chill being in school than anything else. But we even had people from other boroughs pulling up. We had people from Brooklyn pulling up. You know what I mean?
Yes, I had that. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
McKee was crazy low key, bro. Everybody used to think about Curtis
Can
was
I ask you a
bananas. Nah,
question? Well, Curtis was either for like the Caucasian alma mater, and it was for people central to like New Brighton or St. George. You know what I'm saying? That area.
right.
And St. George was like near the ferry, so it was not the hood, but it was hood adjacent. Because if you
Right.
walk down, you hit Westerville. Westerville's the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Basically, the backyard of the school.
Yeah, 100%. So, but why did you pick McKee?
I always been the type to never want to do what the majority wanted to do. I never liked who the majority liked because I always felt like a follower then. You know what I mean? I was always raised to never be a follower, be a leader. The reason why I chose McKee because a lot of people were choosing Curtis. And I'm seeing, all right, so you can realize what kind of friends you got. You realize you got your positive friends, and you realize you got your friends that you just tell, I have too much negative fun with you. I'm gonna get into trouble hanging out with you. You my bro. I'm gonna get into trouble fucking with you.
Yeah.
I can't go to that school with you, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta pick my smarter friends and see where they going. So when Charlie and the nigga said McKee or then you had mentioned it, but then I realized my uncle, Uncle Herman had went there. So I actually had family ties low key kind of in that school already. You know what? McKee, it's right there. I'm gonna be a little different. You know what I mean? So I just go there and just be in school and be back. And you know what I mean? That's good. I figured I'd choose that. That was the main reason why I chose McKee.
Yeah.
And they got computer repair. They computer shit. I like video games.
Yeah.
There we go.
Remember, yeah, we went on the tour. Because remember, we went on the tour, yeah. We went on the tour from 61. From IS 61. Shout out to IS 61. In high school, you make it through 4 years. You graduated. We graduated. You graduated on time. You know what I'm saying? With your high school sweetheart.
Yeah, surprisingly so. And shit, matter of fact,
I still got pictures of us from the graduation. I gotta find them, but if I could find them, they're definitely going in this. But you know what I'm saying? That was
I gotta shout out to and a rest in peace to security guard Sue. Also rest in peace to security guard D. You remember
they
Sue?
Passed away?
Yeah, they passed away. Sue a lot longer ago than D. What you call it?
Sue was the white lady with the glasses and the
white
red
lady
hair.
with the glasses. When I say she played a major part, more than likely in our relationship, more than she probably could have realized, she paid for us to go to our prom. Our parents didn't have it. We wasn't going. We didn't go on a senior trip. We didn't have it. Our parents just ain't have it like that. So we wasn't going to the prom neither. She paid for us to go and got our clothes for the nothing. She didn't know our parents. She didn't know our people for nothing. She was like, she just, I guess she's enjoyed watching our relationship, I guess from a security guard's perspective. You know what I mean? She was like, she just didn't want kids out like that.
And y'all, like, there was no, you could see it. Like, we all saw it. You know what I'm saying? Whether, you know what I'm saying? You know, we could all see, like,
being in it, you didn't really pay attention to or cared who saw it at the time. I was just in the moment.
I'm not surprised that you guys are together this long. Like, it's almost like, why aren't y'all? Why wouldn't y'all be? I mean, but yeah, like you guys from early on, you guys had that chemistry and I mean, you obviously had more in common than we all knew. And you know, I mean, it's after you get out of high school, what happens then?
All right, so now after high school, I'm like, you know what? I finally get a year to chill. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if I want to do college. I'm not exactly sure what it is I want to do in my life. I'm really at a stalemate. You know what I mean? I know what it is that I love to do. You know what I mean? So I just need something real fast. So I go find me a security guard job or these places I'm going looking for jobs. I even try looking for an acting gig. In the process going to look for that, I see I happened to take a look at TCI College right behind the garden. You know what I mean? And I just followed my feet to their door. You know what I mean? Filled out the paperwork all by myself. You know what I mean? It's like after home for a summer or whatever. halfway through, started filling out for the next following season somewhere. I get accepted into that school. At that point, I'm really not paying attention, but my uncle currently did lose his job and he was struggling, but I'm not paying attention to that part of life. I'm just like, all right, that's adult life. I'm just gonna focus on me getting my life in order for things I'm gonna need to do, I guess. So I'm going, I guess, to try to learn how to make video games. At some point, TCI could be the spot. That's what I like to do. I might as well try to make some money in that. Started going to that school about 2 months in. I'm loving it. The math class is easy as hell. Like, math is probably my easiest class, but I'm enjoying the math part. You know what I mean? The English class, I'm doing better than I was doing in high school, in that school, and I'm actually enjoying it. We get evicted from the place we were staying at. I'll come home 2 months later. The spot we were gonna go to was gonna be my other uncle's house, who has just bought a house. And so it's gonna be me, my uncle, and my grandfather staying in the basement. I didn't want no parts of that. Called my girlfriend. I know her situations. She's from spot to spot to spot, who I was willing to have the extra person. So I asked her, is it possible that I can move in and share the spot with her? The people said it was okay. From that point in, moved in, never looked back. I've been making it in life together with her. Didn't really
That's beautiful.
get a chance to go back to the school I could have, but I guess I was more worried about me trying to make some money to start paying some bills. I found the closest job I can get, Mickey D's, and started working from there. She working at Pathmark. We started making it work, and it was a struggle for a while. It was a big struggle. Definitely felt the effects of not preparing myself properly from high school. I felt that bad during them years, especially when you don't have a safety net and you just onto what you got. So
Or
at the
guidance.
time,
I mean,
I'm working,
it's tough. It's a tough transition.
right? I'm working at McDonald's. She's working at Pathmark. No lie, I got 3 pair of drawers to last me through the week. No BS. I washing them out by hand and riding my bike to work. At this point, I'm living off of Broadway in West Brighton, working at McDonald's on Morningstar.
Oh, wow.
Doing as many hours I can a day, 10, 12 hours a day, as much as I can, working there with my boy Ra. Shout out to my boy Ra. Rasheen
Shout out.
Daniel. That's my brother, bro. Like, oh God. He know the struggles I went through. He was right there with me. Because he was working there with me too. Because first started working from there, because when I first moved in, where it was on Morningstar, just a couple of blocks down. So we moved into the next spot because we couldn't stay where we at no more. The new spot that we called the Shack. The Shack was a trap.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Simply put. You know what I mean? But we made the best out of it. I mean, rats. We had police barricades as the handles for going up the steps.
Wow.
Some summers, the video game was me and my wife's brother would go out back with the BB gun and shoot rats. We thought a piece of hot dog because we tried to barbecue, them rats started coming out bold like broad daylight. All right, we can't do nothing back here. Y'all can't do nothing back here. We're gonna have fun. And we exterminated all the rats all that summer. One summer, just picked them all off.
Wow.
We couldn't afford an air conditioner. We just hopped in the shower, drip dry the front of a fan, get back in the ice cold shower. It was struggle days, bro. Struggle days, and like to the point where, all right, now can't keep living like this. We at the trap, gotta get some of this work. You know what I mean? Do what we gotta do to get up on our feet a little better. God found the way to get me my first good job at installing cable. Able to put all that street part me behind. Like, I'm not watching my father getting caught up in that. I wanted zero smoke with that part of the game, period. But the people I knew wasn't sure the same idiots we grew around. They were much smarter, much more low-key how they did the shit. So you know what? If I'm gonna do it, let me learn from these dudes.
Right.
Do what I had to do, quiet as kept. No scuffles, no nothing. A lot of uneasy feelings. I got too much quarter keys on me, like passing to
wow.
passing to people that pass off to other people. Like
Uh,
I'm in between the middleman of big men
uh,
type situation. So like, I had to let that go real fast in a hurry. Never felt like this is not where I want to be at. I don't see this ending cute. I'd rather struggle. Real talk. But now that I'm back on my feet, do a job, I'm all right, boom, get this cable job. She gets the cable job along with me. I'm the installer, she's a dispatcher. This is when, at this point, we move over, we get our place together to go. Now I'm going back to Arlington. Funny is we have the same building and everything, one story down. Where am I at? My mother still lives one story up from me.
Okay.
So I mean, we're over there now. So now life's starting to get a little better. I get second jobs, and they will start putting away a little bit more money. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what happened with that.
So at some point, you guys welcome a new addition, right?
Whole facts.
So what was that like?
Through the grace of God, is the one reason why nobody can ever tell me there isn't a God. Obviously, been trying for quite some time. Wasn't always successful. Wasn't like successful at all until that one time. And I believe that one time is because while living in Arlington, I guess like starting to get frustrated that it wasn't happening. You know, we started
trying to conceive.
Right.
Okay.
And we were starting to go to doctors and start looking at fertility drugs and stuff like that. And I'm hearing people saying take them, some people saying don't take them. And I'm just kind of confused on whether we should or shouldn't. And on our way walking to the store, like if you know the Arlington layout, that last parking lot when you're walking past 55, I just got on my knees in the parking lot and I prayed. Like, and I pray from my heart. I pray from my heart. Like, I'm not sure which religion to trust. I don't know which one is the real one.
Yeah.
But if you know my heart, you know me. I want this. I need this. I'm begging you for this. Now, I prayed hard. I prayed with everything I was.
How old were you?
I had to be about 23, 24.
Wow.
Around that age somewhere.
Wow. Okay.
At that time. Now, mind you, I've already been together with her about 10 years now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm feeling like, all right, we went through the thick of it already. We're on our feet. Like, I could understand before, no, we financially wasn't ready to handle that.
Right.
Like, what's up? I need this. And he blessed me with him. And I've never been so thankful. Wasn't able to conceive again after.
Right.
He was the only one that ever came out. There was no miscarriages. There was no stillbirths, no nothing. He was the only one that popped up. So I thank God for him. Like, that's my proof for forever that there is a God. I don't trust religion. I don't. I'm not a religious person. I don't trust religion. That was that promo, right? I don't trust religion. But there is a God. You need a championship. There is a God.
No, man. That's a beautiful thing. And so what was that like early on? Like parenthood and stuff.
Oh, I felt unsure of everything. That's what your first child have you feeling like, especially when it's one, and you feel so unsure of everything you're doing. If anything you're doing is the right decision to be doing at all.
Yep.
You remember what it's like being a kid very vividly. You remember what it's like being a kid. You know how you wanted it to be better.
Right.
So here's where the spoiling comes in at, because you know how you wanted your freedoms and this, that, third, and the other. So you allow your children to have those little things that you couldn't have. You know what I mean? Especially if you can't do as much financially as you want. So, you give them a little more freedoms and so on and so forth. Right. You know what I mean? Just because you know it's going to make them, you believe it's going to make them a happier child. But it was just trial and error along the way. You know what I mean? That's my boy.
I can feel the love. Definitely. I can definitely.
Boy, I want to give him the world. I just don't know how. But like they say, when you have more kids, though, they say it becomes easier. But when it's your one, it still becomes your best friend. You know what I mean? At least that's what I aim for. I'd rather be more friend than parent.
Okay.
I feel like I can give you more information as a friend than I can a parent. But the more you try, the more you still end up being a parent.
you
But I
know,
guess the
it's
tough part is for people like me and you. We're unsure or exactly what the heck this parents supposed to do because all we had was providers. We had guardians
mhm,
that knew how to make sure we survived, make
mhm,
sure we ate, make sure, you know what I mean, we were smart enough to handle certain shit,
mhm.
you know what I mean? But we definitely felt it would have been different.
Yeah,
We'd have understood different from
mhm,
prospective parent.
totally.
So we didn't exactly have those particular role models from, so we just kind of
100%.
made do with what we knew.
And it's a different investment. Um,
Well
you know,
said.
I would definitely say your grandmother was well invested in you being the best person that she could help you become. She
Hmm.
definitely set up the pillars of who you are.
Right.
And you are the person you are partly because of her strict guidance, and not even strict because but she just, like you said, she understood. I didn't even know she was keen on everything going on, but she was well aware of what was going on. And she was
Bruh,
like, no, you're
when
not
I
having
say
that.
things always, bro, I don't care what I did up the block before cell phones, bro, it beat me
It's word of mouth.
home.
It's word of mouth.
It beat me home, bro. We could have been on bikes. It
Yeah.
beat me home,
You was on
bro.
punishment a lot. You was on punishment a
Bruh,
lot.
I didn't get away with nothing. I swear this is this definitely one of the reasons why I guess I didn't. I definitely want to dibble and dabble into the criminal shit. I wanted to steal, of course I did. But who wants to steal if you always get caught?
It's so bad.
Beatings hurt.
Oh man,
I
yeah.
figured the worst part of the beatings was the punishments for bro. Like they sentenced my ass, bro.
Listen,
I'm
it's
doing bids,
seventh
bro.
grade. I hardly saw you.
Bids, bro. I went back. I got comfortable and got back into my old ways. Say where I was with my mom's, like
Eighth grade, you
just
was better.
having fun. You
Eighth
know what
grade, you
the
was
people?
better. We saw you, but in the seventh grade, I don't remember you being. Like, I remember like seeing you, but I don't remember you being at certain places except for school. Like I like we'd be like, "Yo, we're gonna go at the block to the to PAL," and you'd be like, "Oh, nah, I can't go."
I mean, bro, I live a lot of my life out the same window my grandmother was watching, bro. I swear to God, but there was sometimes she was lenient when my uncle wasn't home. You know,
Mhm.
he's coming home late. She'd give me a little bit of outside time in the front. You know, maybe I couldn't
In the
walk around the
front,
corner.
in the front, I remember. But there was an investment there, and a lot of people didn't have that because, as you say, when you live in your grandmother, to me, wasn't your guardian or your provider, even though that's
Right,
what she was. But she
right.
really wasn't. Like, she loved you, she cared about you, and it was
Fact,
evident.
fact,
I mean, as adults, we can recognize that now.
fact.
And I know growing up, a lot of people didn't have that. And there's, when someone's not invested in you, it's hard to gather what is your worth, because this
Mm,
person that's watching you or that's taking care of you, you don't really feel like they value you. So where do you get your sense of worth or your value from? Get it from the street. You get it from however you get it. And so,
fact.
um, I mean, it's a tough thing to fathom as a youth. And there is a God, because look at you, look at what you've become, look at the
Fact,
father you are, and
fact,
you raised a great kid, raised a great young man,
facts,
and regardless of,
whole
you
facts,
don't have to give him the world, you just have to point him in the direction of what it takes to take.
facts.
I
Like
mean,
I would always say,
yeah.
like our parents, they taught us how to survive. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? They make sure that you know what I mean, you knew what to do, worst case scenario, how to
Well,
get money. But once you knew how to get it, you knew you better keep it, you knew you better work hard, regardless of whatever kind of job it is you got.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty much the lesson I was taught. You know what I mean? Pick for something solid. Um,
Yeah.
where at the same token, we were dreamers. You know what I mean? We had a glimpse of what the world really could be. You know what I mean? And then even though we were taught to get certain things, but if you wasn't able to mentally break that at a younger age and realize the vision of things you can do, this is why our era, when we grew with it, it became the most creative time in history, just about. So it seems like we got the most wide range, the most brand new creative things, and everything else is yet to seem to be still copied from our era.
That's right. It's a fact. That's a great point.
We taught our children how to dream from the beginning and really follow them dream. It was like, because at the end of the day, there's a way to make a pretty penny no matter what your dream is. 100%. There's a way to make a pretty penny. I don't care how much you love, you wanted to play basketball. I promise you, if you don't make the league, there is a way to make a pretty penny off the game of basketball. You can become an agent, a lawyer in that particular field, whatever the situation may be, a fitness profession, whatever the situation may be, you can get into the game.
Definitely. What are you up to these days? Like, what are you doing?
Well, all right. So these days, the behind the scenes of me is working in the OPWDD field with the special needs individuals. And right now I'm in a day program.
Okay. Like a pros program, kind of? Like a pros program, kind of? Like teach them skills and
right. Yeah. Right. That part. Yeah, exactly. I also got my podcast that's on Reflex Radio. It's called Word on the Street. My boy Pretty Boy Green, my sis Seriously, and new sisters Pull Up Rodney. You know what I mean? Very beautiful women. We got on the show. We talk about we talk about every and anything on the show. It's like a conversation you would have on the block. You know what I mean? We talk about the current affairs. We have a new current artists coming up, entertainers coming up. Soon we about to have a cook-off. You know, there's people nowadays. Everybody's starting a business. Everybody's selling plates outside their house now. So we want to set a platform for them because it's also going to help promote their business. And we're gonna vote on who makes the best, who got the best plates. You know what I mean? And it's just gonna be our personal preference, but they can also pull up and watch us on YouTube at any given time under Reflex Radio every Tuesday, 8 p.m.
Nice.
YouTube live stream. Okay. Yeah. Now you can definitely catch us on Facebook. TikToks are coming soon. I'm also always doing jobs.
Where is that based in? Is that on Staten Island as well?
Yeah, it's based on Staten Island, yes.
Okay. But what studio are they working out of?
No, the studio is called it's called Reflex Radio.
Okay.
He owns the own studio and the platform.
Oh, nice.
Shout out to my guy Joe Parker.
That's what's
definitely
up.
Shout out to my guy Joe Parker. Shout out to my guy Jay.
That's amazing lane right there.
Whole facts. Them guys are doing big things over there. I'm also still always forever working with Real Job Music. You know what I mean? That's my bro Haas for forever. When I first got cool with him, I honestly didn't know he rapped neither. Of course, I got cool with him at first, joking around in school. He was, when there was ciphers going around, he'd be outside of skirts listening to everybody rapping, but he never jumped in the cipher. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'll be doing the beats on the table, whatever, so have you. But he later on come to find out that he was doing the DJing at all the school dances. They hired Jamel for all the DJ, all the school dances. Nice. And he was nice from the very first one I went to. So it was like, oh shit, a DJ that's my age, you know what I mean? So I got in cool with him to try to, learn how to be a DJ. You know what I mean? It ended up being no funny. One of my brothers, one of my best friends ever since then, bro. Like low key inseparable. But other than that, it's every Tuesday for Shirley at Reflex Radio, YouTube, Reflex Radio, A Word in the Street. Every Saturday as well, you're gonna find us on The Hangover. Also on Reflex Radio, find that on YouTube. My TikTok, Bashan Farrow, the Bashan Farrow. That's my TikTok. Feel free to follow me. Do a whole bunch of silly bullshit on that. But yeah, that's just about it. Other than that, I'm gonna keep living life and enjoy it as God allowed me to.
Oh man, listen. I appreciate you sharing your story, especially
I appreciate you allowing me to tell my story, man. I never think I was gonna get to a day where I actually could do it. You know what I mean? I might not have been the entertainer, or I would have been, but in some way, form, or fashion, I still somehow got to be that. I always wanted to be on the radio. I didn't get that. I got the podcast. I'm not choosy. I'm happy with the lifestyle I'm living. It feels exactly like it. This whole situation, when you told me, bro, this is like I'm never expected it, but yet it's so dope to be able to tell my story. Like really, really, really dope. I appreciate this more than I can verbally express. Real quick, my Knicks. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you for not giving up the trade for him. I'm just mad at the rest of the league. They'll try to take the world from us with trade for pennies to any other team. Do your thing. Stay strong.
That was more of a slight towards him with Utah, though. They didn't want to trade him. They didn't want to give him the trade he wanted. That's honestly what it was.
But the funny thing is they trade him to they gave him a better situation. So that kind of, I wonder, you know what I mean? Because they wanted to send him to a zoneless Knicks. They wanted to mellow him, send him to New York with nobody. Instead, you send him to Cleveland with their whole starting five.
Yeah. It was actually,
with draft picks like 4 or 5 years down the line. Yeah.
That ain't gonna be worth nothing. Ain't gonna be worth nothing. Listen, I learned so much tonight. I'm thankful for knowing you all these years as a good friend, as family, you know what I'm saying? Like generally, you know, definitely, you know, you living, we all live together basically. You know, seriously. And you know, I'm very proud of the man that you've become, and you know, I'm glad your family's doing well. And you know, shout out to your wife, shout out to your son, shout out to your family. And you know, thank you for being on the show, man. This has been another episode of Just Another Podcast. This has been Bashan Farrow, aka Braille, aka Uncle B. You can catch him on Reflex Radio. They're on YouTube. They're on Spotify. They're on the platforms. You know, just search them out.
Reflex Radio.
What's the name of the show again?
Word on the Street.
Word on the Street. Definitely catch that.
Every Tuesday, 8 p.m.
So if you ain't from there, at least you can kind of get an idea. And if you are from there, then you already know. You know what I'm saying? And you can it's just current events, regular. You know, it's like reading the Staten Island events.
We talk about it all, baby. We got games. Matter of fact, we got prize money giveaways if you call up. We got a game we created called Fill in the Pause. Well, it's just like we playing a Fill in the Pause for 2 years now. They just started to steal our game this summer called Sing or Swim. So every singing that, you gotta finish the verse or they dunk you in the pool. It's the same game. We do that for drinks.
They stole that.
They stole that. It's originally called Fill in the Pause.
Oh man!
But yeah, pull up YouTube, Facebook, for Reflex Radio for Word on the Street.
Oh, no doubt, my brother. Y'all be safe out there. Thank y'all for listening. Have a great one. And yeah, man, tune in next time for another episode of Just Another Podcast. Take care.